inviting me to come and give this talk this evening. I'm glad to see the improvement in various ways and cooperations and understanding among the devotees and the members, and the enthusiasm and spiritual support given by your resident monk, Reverend Saranankar. We will give our full support in your activities within our capacity to improve your religious knowledge and understanding. Although you have invited me to give a talk, but not given any subjects for me to discuss tonight. Can you tell me what to talk? There's nothing in my mind. You have to tell me what to talk, or if not, what you want to know. Any idea? I think you had to prepare a series of subjects for the speakers to come and speak. Otherwise, they also do not know what to talk. They may come and talk something which you are not interested. What do you suggest? You want me to talk about that book, Visuddhimagga? Visuddhimagga, yes, very good. Anto jata bahijata jataya jatita paja tantang gotama puchchami ko imang vijataye jatam. This is the opening stanza of Visuddhimagga, or path of purification. This is the question that posed to the Buddha by one of the Devas. Having seen the troubles and problems and worries and difficulties and calamities all over the world, not only amongst human beings, all the other living beings, including devas in heaven. This particular deva approached the Buddha knowing that there is nobody else who can enlighten regarding this subject, and asked this question. He says, Anto jata bahijata is a Pali language. The language written, recorded in Visuddhimagga. Inner tangle and outer tangle. Anto jata bahijata. Jataya jatita pada. All those living beings in this world or in this universe entangle with various problems and troubles and calamities and difficulties. Could you please tell us how to settle this problem? How to disentangle? How to settle? That is the question. The Buddha gave a simple answer. And the next stanza in the same book, you can see, Sile patittaya naro sapanyo chittang panyancha bhavaya Atapi nipako bhikkhu so imang vijataye jata. Now this is the answer. This is the solution. Sile patitthaya. First thing, you had to establish a start, if not lay the foundation in everything, whatever you do in your life, based on sila. Sile patitthaya. By neglecting your sila, whatever you do, whether your household life, married life, worldly life, religious life, there is no guarantee that you can carry on your work without facing problems. Now, what is this word, sila? Now you are observing sila. 8 items, 8 precepts, 8 principles. Observing as sila. What is the meaning of this word, sila? Can you tell me? Any idea that you have learned so far? What is sila? No idea. Simple meaning is training. We train ourselves. We discipline ourselves by cultivating certain good qualities, virtues, precepts, principles. That is the meaning of sila. We train ourselves. Then why do we want to train? Because our minds are untrained. Not trained properly. Our minds are very wild, sometimes very wicked, selfish, cunning, cruel. Now when we see what is happening all over the world amongst human beings, we can see animals are living peacefully in the jungle amongst their community. Whenever they want to find out something to eat, they go and attack another animal, kill and eat. That's all. It is natural. Then why do human beings attack, disturb, kill, destroy other human beings? Not because that they haven't got food to eat, they have. Not because they have no clothing or shelter to live, they have. Then what do they need? Why do they want to fight and kill others? This is the nature of untrained mind, uncultured mind, selfish mind. They want more and more authority, more and more worldly power, and more things to enjoy extraordinary pleasure. So they are not fighting for their survival. Now you can understand why sila is important. Sila or discipline is important for us to train our mind to live as cultured human beings, if not real human beings. What does it mean, real human beings? Real human beings must have humane qualities. They have to uphold certain good qualities to maintain human dignity. There we can differentiate the way of life of animals and way of life of humans. Now, what is the difference between animal life and human life? Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunancha. Samanya metat pasubhir narana. It's a beautiful saying in Sanskrit language. Eating, sleeping, and experiencing sex and fighting for the self-preservation or life, to protect their own life. All these four habits or natures you can find amongst animals. Animals also eat and sleep, experience sex, and they also fight to protect themselves. Now this is animal nature. If human beings also are going to live exactly like those animals, only by eating, sleeping, experiencing sex and fighting for their life, then where is the difference? How can we prove we human beings are far better or advanced or cultured or intelligent than those animals? Nothing. The only difference is we are two-legged and they are four-legged. They have tail and we haven't got visible tail. This is the only difference. But there is a difference. Dharmo hi tesang adhiko visesa. Now there is something in us amongst human beings which we cannot find in animals. That is called dharma. What is dharma? Dharma, when you define as humane qualities, we have humanism. Before these religions come into existence, we had another systems to govern the whole mankind, called humanism. Meaning, to maintain human life, human dignity, human intelligence, we organize our way of life to fulfill our duties, responsibilities, obligations, and to live without disturbing others. This is Dharma. This is humanism. There is no religion there. It is humanism, it is Dharma. Maintaining shame and fear. Certain dirty, immoral, vulgar things we do not like to do. That is humanism and that is Dharma. Shameful. Certain wicked, cruel, harmful things we don't like to do. We maintain fear. Destroying, killing, hurting, disturbing others. We are scared to do this. Not because of punishment. Human nature. This shame and fear govern, control, maintain human dignity. It is Dharma. But when you study the situation here in this world today, in spite of various religions, the human behavior, human character, human mentality, we cannot see that there is even humanism. Nothing. Human beings are becoming more and more selfish, more and more cunning, and more cruel. Cannot trust. We can trust animals, but cannot trust human beings. We can trust devils and ghosts, but we cannot trust human beings. Because human beings are very cunning. This cunningness you cannot find among devils or ghosts or animals. Because of this cunningness, we think we are very clever. We know how to bluff others, swindle others, cheat others. That is cleverness. Other living beings do not know how to do that. Now we can understand where we are. Again, when we define this word Dharma, from the religious point of view, what is the meaning of this word Dharma? Chatussu apayesu cha vatta dukkhesu cha apatamane kattva dhareti iti Dhamma. The definition given for this word. Dharma is the only method that which supports us without allowing us to get into most unfortunate states, to suffer. If we maintain this Dharma, uphold this Dharma, observe this Sila, we never get into animal life, ghost or spirit life, and hell, or any other unfortunate, miserable states. Dharma will support us hold us without allowing us to fall down. See what a beautiful meaning. The meaning of the Dharma. That which hold us without allowing us to fall down. Get into those unfortunate states. This is the interpretation from the religious point of view. That means when we maintain certain precept or sila or dharma, there is nothing to worry about our next life. We never get into such unfortunate, miserable states. In other words, we can die peacefully, without fear. We can die because we have hopes and confidence. Dharmena hina pasubhir samana. Again the same saying, the Sanskrit saying. Dharmena hina pasubhir samana. If we cannot find this dharma amongst human beings, there is no difference whatsoever amongst the animals and humans. Both are equal. Here, the Buddha started to answer this question. Sile patitthaya. First, you must establish your way of life according to this dharma. That is the first duty. What people do actually today in the name of their religion, worshipping, praying, offering, or performing certain rites and rituals and ceremonies, that is religion. All these things are very easy. Anyone can do. There is no difficulty. Anyone can pray, worship, no difficulty. And do some offerings also, flowers, candles, joss sticks, or animal sacrifices also, some people are doing, no difficulty. And perform some ceremonies, burning, all sort of things, no difficulty. By doing all those things, people believe, they have done their religious duties. They are religious now. But according to the Buddha, actually they are not religious. They are not religious unless they establish, cultivate these good qualities of dharma in them. A man cannot become a religious person just because he or she pray or worship. If there are no such good qualities, if they do not behave as cultured, civilized, understanding, kind and honest human being, after committing all sorts of evil, wicked things, bluffing, swindling others, go and pray. Pray to God, pray to Buddha, asking forgiveness. Very easy. We can do anything whatever we like. After that, go and pray. Please take away all my sin and send me to heaven. That is religion. People like that type of religion. Sure. That is why some people say Buddhism is very hard to practice, very difficult. Because the Buddha never say, after committing all sort of evil, come and worship me, I can forgive all your sin. I'll send you to heaven. The Buddha never bluff people. Sile patittaya naro sapanyo. Assume we could manage to maintain. You cannot observe, practice, uphold all the good qualities at once. Impossible. You had to start one by one, according to your knowledge and understanding and maturity and age and so many things. The more you experience the nature of world, the nature of life, nature of worldly conditions or situation, having seen what is happening in this world, why human beings are fighting, quarreling, killing each other, why whole world look like a madhouse, if not why whole world is look like battlefield. They are human beings, not animals. They are not devils. We have never seen devils come and fight. Some people are scared of devils and ghosts and hantus and spirits. They are innocent, stupid living beings. Although you are scared of them, they are stupid. Your human intelligence is more powerful, more energetic. If you know how to cultivate your intelligence, all these ghosts and devils and hantus run away. They are scared of you. You do not know that. It is due to your ignorance you go and worship them. Now, this is the method introduced by the Buddha. Then, next one. Chittang panyancha bhava. Chitta and panya. Cultivate these two things. Chitta means mind. Panya means knowledge, understanding, wisdom. Two more things for us to do now. After observing, practicing sila, morality, discipline, good conduct, then we are trying to understand the nature of our mind. We can do a lot of good things. We can pretend we are very good people. We can do a lot of services to others. But still, our minds are not pure. We are keeping our selfishness, our anger, our hatred, jealousy, enmity, ignorance in our mind. By keeping all these things, we can do a lot of good work. Therefore, we must know the nature of our own mind. Unless you realize the nature of your own mind, you cannot train your mind. Remember this. If you cannot admit that you are jealous, you cannot train your mind. If you do not admit you are hot-tempered, you cannot train your mind. If you cannot understand you are selfish, you cannot train your mind. You realize you are very greedy, you are crazy, you cannot train your mind. But you can do a lot of good work. That is not enough. Buddhism, or the main purpose of Buddhism, is to teach people how to train their mind. When the mind is trained, everything is trained. Without training our mind, whatever we are trying to do, we make mistake. Lot of mistake. Because we do lot of good work with ulterior motive, selfishness, cunningness, just to show off, just for the namesake, publicity. That is why we make mistake. When once we train our mind, we never pollute the purity of our services. Then we extend only our kindness, our sympathy, our cooperations, our understanding. All these are good qualities. These things never create any problems because no selfishness there. Then how to train the mind? Just now I told you, the first thing, if we really want to train our mind, we must know where the mistake is. If we cannot understand that forever, throughout our life, there is no method that we will be able to find out. Now, if we cannot understand, then there is another method. Those days, disciples and the teachers, devotees and the masters, after associating for some time, observing and keep an eye on them, how they behave, how they talk, how they walk, how they handle things, and the motivation, the purpose of doing certain things. When you observe, we can understand the character, the temperament, or the mood, attitude. Then there are 6 characters. We are not free from these. Some are good, some are bad. You must understand this. We have 6 characters. Raga charita, dosa charita, moha charita, buddhi charita, saddha charita, vitakka charita. 6. No one is free from these things. The whole trouble with us, that we never try to analyze, introspect, to understand the nature of mind. We try to understand and learn everything under the sun and moon. We learn science and technology and languages and philosophy and psychology, so many subjects. But still we do not know the nature of our own mind. That is the problem with us. And what is the use of that knowledge that you gathered? You cannot make use of that knowledge unless you come to know the nature of your own mind. You can abuse, you can insult, you can disturb, you can create disaster, havoc, by using that knowledge that you gathered, scientific knowledge or any knowledge, if your mind is not trained. This is the danger. And what is happening in this world today? Scientific discoveries has become a curse to whole mankind. Every human being is shivering with fear, suspicion in this world today because of scientific discoveries. Because they can abuse and misuse, handled by selfish people, wicked people, cruel people, narrow-minded people, not train their mind, but they have very sharp thinking power. That is called intelligence. Intelligence is very dangerous. If we do not know how to divert, make use of this intelligence, we can use this intelligence to commit lot of bad things. Now let us take few examples. Many of those people who plan to kidnap rich people and bank robbery, to plan this kind of thing, people have very strong intelligence. Foolish people cannot do this kind of thing. We cannot think even, cannot imagine how they do this kind of thing. That is the way how they abuse and insult and disturb others by using that intelligence, untrained intelligence. We have 6 characters, just now I told you. Some are very lustful. Lustful means consider more on sexual side. Everything they divert toward the sex life. That is their character. Other things are not very important to them. Romantic or sexual way of life. Some others are hot-tempered. 1 or 2 words are more than enough to arouse, to irritate and disturb their mind. Their minds are just like boiling water, very hot. Some are very ignorant. They cannot understand things. Very low mentality. They cannot think properly, cannot use common sense. This is their nature. Now then, some are very intelligent by nature, by birth. From childhood, we can see. Some children are very intelligent. Nobody taught them. That is their own intrinsic character. But this intelligence must be guided properly, otherwise they misuse. That's why parents must know how to handle their children by knowing their character, children's character. Some have very peculiar type of mind, vitakka. That means always maintain some sort of confusion in their mind. They cannot come to any conclusion, cannot decide, puzzling. One idea appears, then immediately another idea appears and contradicts. Friction, clashes. This is the nature of some people. They cannot decide anything throughout their life. They are going on thinking and thinking whether to get married or not. Cannot decide. Going on dragging throughout their life, still cannot decide whether to get married or not. This is the nature of their life. Some others are thinking whether to lead a worldly life or whether to become a monk, renounce, or still going on thinking, cannot decide. Whether to do some business or just keep quiet without doing anything. There are so many people in this world. This is their nature. Then the last one is Saddha Charita. Saddha means devotion, devout. They have too much devotion. Mostly ladies. Because they are emotion and devotion. Ladies are emotional. Very easily they can cry. Within few seconds they can laugh. But man cannot do that. If man cried the whole day he cannot laugh. But ladies are not like that. Just cry and just wipe out the tears and laugh. That is because of their emotion. And they become very devout. They have too much devotion. But they do not, or very seldom they use their intelligence, common sense, to understand things properly. So, cunning people, especially cunning religious people, know how to make use or take the advantage of these innocent ladies. They accept everything, especially in the name of religion. Whatever monks and devotees and others say, they accept. They don't consider, never think deeply. They become the victim to many of those cunning people. That is the disadvantage of devotion. So according to the Buddha, devotion and understanding both must go together in hand. But some people are very devout. They do not think deeply. They cannot see the loopholes or the dark corners because of their devotion. Now, I have explained 6 kind of characters that we have. All of us maintain at least 1 or 2, but others are submerged underground. Occasionally flare up. but very obvious, noticeable, one or two characters, whether hot-tempered or jealous or intelligent or foolish, very easily we can see. Then the method introduced by the Buddha is the most important thing. Different technique, different method for these different characters. It's exactly like the nature of sickness and study the whole system, the constitutions of the body, then prescribe a suitable medicine for that sickness. But this medicine is suitable only for this person, but not for many others. That is why a person, a master, a teacher is important to understand this situation, this character, this temperament, and prescribe suitable method. Then it will become practical. Otherwise, never experience good result. Now you want to meditate. A meditation teacher asks you to do something. Without studying, not knowing your character, your temperament, your attitude, you go on meditate, you won't gain anything. The Buddha is important for us today for this purpose. He is the only one who can penetrate at once, understand our mentality, our way of thinking, what we can understand, what appeal to our mind. Knowing this, he prescribed a suitable method for this person. Then, very soon, that person experiences the good result. So if we want to train our mind, although we cannot analyze in details, at least we can understand certain things. Then use our full effort. If there are bad, harmful mentality, mental attitude, then we must try to bring down and calm and train and train and train and train and train. Another person cannot train your mind, remember this. A teacher or master can give you some method. You have to work for that. Assume you are very cruel by nature. By knowing the cruelty that you maintain in your mind, you go and pray and worship to the Buddha. If not, you go and pray to God, asking to remove this cruelty from your mind. You can pray throughout your life. You never experience the removal of cruelty, because another person cannot remove this from your mind. You are the only one who can do that. By realizing your selfishness, your jealousy, your cruelty, all these weaknesses. By realizing, you must try to reduce and reduce and reduce and reduce, and it's a gradual development. At once you cannot wipe out. Now that is what the Buddha says here. Try to train your mind by knowing the nature of your mind. Worshipping, praying to others is not the solution. Mental culture is in your hand. Otherwise, if you are very hot-tempered, you can go and pray and ask the God to come and adjust one screw here. And after that, no more. If there are such God in this world, have you ever seen? But you have to do that. So, when you cultivate your mind by reducing all the evil forces, by developing the good thought, there are two methods. Certain things to reduce and reduce and reduce, certain things to cultivate and develop. You had to cultivate your kindness. Then cruelty reduce. You had to practice some sort of generosity. That means sacrifice, contribute something for the benefit of others. Then you reduce your selfishness. Slowly, slowly, you can reduce your selfishness. So one by one, you had to see the negative and positive. When you develop the positive aspect, the negative aspect slowly goes down. Then mind become very pure, very energetic, very useful force. After that, we maintain very strong confidence. We know how to face all these natural problems without worrying about it. Now we are worrying about our problem, family problem, worrying and crying and grumbling, accusing, that's all. That is not the solution. There is a beautiful saying in one of the Mahayana Sanskrit book, Bodhicharya written by a well-known Buddhist scholar in India. Very beautiful saying. He says, if there are worries in our mind, remember, there are some solutions, certain method for us to get rid of these worries. By worrying, you won't be able to get rid of your problem. Your duty is, without worrying, must try whether there is any method for you to practice in order to get rid of your worries. Again he says, for certain worries that you maintain, there is no solution because they are natural. Let us take few examples. We experience or we suffer from certain sicknesses. Then we worry. By worrying, can we stop these sicknesses? There are certain medicine system for us to get rid of this sickness. But for certain sicknesses, no medicines. We are getting old. Young people worry about it. They don't like to get old. But can you stop this by worrying? Is there anybody in this world who could manage to stop this? You cannot do that. It is natural. We worry about our death. But can we stop our death by worrying about that? That is what this Buddhist scholar says. For certain worries and problems, there are solutions. So without worrying, try to find out. If there are no solutions, no method for you to get rid of your problem, then why do you want to worry? Because worries never gives any confidence, any hope. So your duty is to keep quiet without worry. Then we can maintain some sort of peace in our mind. By knowing these things are natural, we have to face them. This is called understanding. This is the way how we have to cultivate our mind. Here the Buddha says, cultivate your mind up to that extent. Then the last one is, develop or try to gain your knowledge, your understanding, your wisdom, your enlightenment. But you never gain this from another person. Knowledge and wisdom, enlightenment never come down from heaven or from another person. We had to work for that. When you want to sit an exam, university's exam, without studying, you go and pray every day. Pray to one particular God or pray to Buddha, asking him to help you to get rid of your problems and get more knowledge and understanding, get through the exam. Do you think you will succeed? Without studying, you go and pray. All those powerful gods, do you think they go and write the answer, questions on your behalf? It doesn't work. You have to study. So in the same way, if you want to gain knowledge and understanding and wisdom, you must try to study, pay more attention. Then slowly you can develop your understanding. You can reduce your stupidity, your ignorance, your misunderstanding, your wrong concept and wrong idea. That is called learning. Then we gain this wisdom. That is the only solution, according to the Buddha. To overcome all our physical and mental and worldly or universal problems, only solution is cultivate your way of life by upholding certain principles, that is Dharma, Sila. Try to understand the nature of your mind, every person, each and every person. Then you know how to control your mind, how to make use of your mind, how to divert your mental energy through proper channel for good purpose. Then you gain more knowledge and understanding and wisdom. Then you experience peace, happiness, bliss, satisfaction, contentment in your life that we are not experiencing today. This is called Visuddhimagga. 700 pages. Venerable Buddha Ghosa has written 700 pages by taking these two ostensa. Exactly 1 hour. As a series of talk, you have to discuss and arrange some sort of subject, topic to discuss. We can spend few minutes if there are any questions.
You mentioned Buddha and God. What's the difference between Buddha and God?
The answer is Buddha, God is God. So many things to be discussed about this. I thought you knew this long ago. In other words, Buddha is not God, God is not Buddha. That is enough.
Before the Visuddhimagga, there was the Vimuktimagga. Is that same as the Visuddhimagga?
Same subject matters discuss by giving some ideas how to maintain, because Visuddhi and what's it called Vimukti, although give two different meanings, both are interrelated. Vimukti means freedom. Visuddhi means purity. So without purity there is no freedom. To gain vimukti or gain freedom or salvation, we must have purity. Because according to the Buddha, without purity there is no salvation, there is no moksha, there is no nirvana, there is no freedom or liberation. Just now I mentioned, by praying, worshipping, offering, religious ceremonies, rituals, external religious cultural practices which bring people into religion. You understand? These things are important for us to introduce, to invite people, to bring people who cannot appreciate and understand these things. Then slowly they get used to religious way of life. Later they forget. They neglect the rites and rituals and ceremonies, but concentrate more on purity and knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Yes, any more? For you to understand the nature of Buddha, how the Buddha has introduced himself to us, to avoid our imagination. One day, when he was going somewhere, he met an elderly Brahmin. This old man has never seen such serene, charming figure. He could not believe that this person be a human being. He has never seen another human being like this. So now he cannot understand whether he is a god or a human being or any other kinds of supernatural living being. He could not understand. Then he went to the Buddha and asked, may I know whether you are a god or an angel or supernatural living beings or ordinary human being? Then the Buddha said, I am not a god. I am not a supernatural living being. I am not an ordinary human being. Now created more confusion in his mind. Then who is this person? Then who are you? Then the Buddha answered, Abhinyeyang abhinyatang bhavitabbang cha bhavitang pahatabbang pahinang me tasma buddhosmi brahmana. This is the answer. How he introduced. Abhinyeyang abhinyata. If there is anything in this world or in this universe for a person to understand, to realize, I understood everything. No one can say the Buddha cannot understand it. That is the first quality. Bhave tabbancha bhavita. In the process of practicing perfections or paramitas and good qualities to become a Buddha, life after life, I practice all the great qualities and virtues in this world, cultivated all the good things. No one can say the Buddha has not practiced this particular good quality. This is the second. Pahinang. I have eradicated all the bad, wicked, cruel, harmful, dangerous, immoral things by purifying my mind. My mind is completely pure. No anger, no jealousy, no grudge, no selfishness, no ignorance. So mind is completely pure. Tasma buddhosmi brahmana. Brahmana. Therefore, I am the Buddha. This is the Buddha. So when you study the nature of God, you can find entirely a different story there. So you cannot compare the Buddha with God. God is a different person. The Buddha means purity, wisdom, understanding. That is Buddha. If there is God, God maintains some sort of worldly powers. In that worldly power there is no purity. He gets angry, he punishes, he tortures. So the Buddha is entirely different from God. If there is a God. So as Buddhists, we do not expect our salvation or purity or wisdom through the influence of God. Whether God exists or not, it is immaterial. The Buddha's method is for us to practice individually, personally, to purify ourselves. Since there is nobody else who can purify us. Because we don't believe and we have no ground to believe that another person can take away all the sins or the bad karmas or the wicked thing that we have committed. Impossible for us to believe. That is why we had to work for our own salvation. We can respect to any god, no harm at all. If you like, you can worship them, no harm. We are not against them. But we know simply by worshipping them, we won't gain. I think better to stop. Coming to 9:30. Antang anumoditva cirang rakhantu loka sasanang devo asatu kalena sassa sampatti hetu ca pito bhavatu loko ca raja bhavatu dhammiko idang o ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā.